Jo Barnes and you're watching another episode of Creative Writing for Kids. Today I'm going to be talking you through how to brainstorm your plot. So the plot of your story is what happens. It's what happens to your main character, the journey they go on, the things they want, the things they do, how they go about getting what they want, and the things that get in their way. So to brainstorm your plot, that means before you start writing it, you identify a few important things about your story. Because that way when you start writing it, you're not discovering everything fresh as you go in. You're going in with a mind of what it is you want to do. Now that doesn't mean you won't discover things along the way, because you will. You might find that your story actually changes from what you intended because it suits the characters that you're writing. Because you don't know who these people are. You're creating them fresh in your brain, and sometimes you find that your characters go a different way than you first thought they would. But if you brainstorm it first, you're not going in blind. You're going in with an idea of what you want to do, and it just makes your storytelling clearer and it puts you in control. So first thing you want to do, get a big piece of paper. I tend to use an A4 pad, usually plain, and get yourself a biro. Get ready, that's your tools. And then of course your brain. And the first job is identify in your head who your main character is. What's their name? Now, this could be a permanent name that you're going to give them, and that is who they are. Or it could just be Bob, because you're like, I can't think of what their name is right now. It'll come to me, but for now, they're Bob. Fine, you put Bob. Then you identify, what does Bob want? Why are you telling this story? Because Bob has to want something for your story to make sense. Otherwise, there's no point writing about Bob. Bob wants something. So let's say Bob wants some cheese. Bob's quest for this story, he wants to get his hands on some cheese. He loves cheese. Cheese is delicious. So Bob is going after cheese. Then, so you put Bob and you put wants cheese on one side of the paper. On the other side of the paper, Bob's enemy, Bob's antagonist. So Bob's antagonist is Sheila. Sheila, because it's the antagonist, it's Bob's enemy, wants to stop Bob getting the cheese. She wants the cheese. Damn you, Sheila, you cheese thief. So, Bob's story is he's going for some cheese. Sheila's story is she's going for some cheese. She wants to stop Bob getting the cheese because she wants to have it for herself. So then you work out little spidergram. Who are Bob's friends? So Bob has a friend called Robbie. He has a friend called Tina. He has a friend called Shirley. Then you put a little line from Shirley over to Sheila. Oh, I've picked very similar names here. But anyway, they have a little line to them because secretly Shirley and Sheila are working together. So then you have this little betrayal situation. So you go in knowing, when you start writing your story, that that friend is pretending to be Bob's friend, but is secretly plotting against him to stop him getting the cheese, working with Sheila. Do you see how it starts to build up? So then, when you start writing it, you've got it ready. You know what they're doing. You know where they're going. You know why. So when Bob starts trying to get to the shop, you can have Shirley, what did I say? Point is, you have his friends stumble him because she's secretly working for the enemy. You have your enemy secretly ruining things on his quest. You have them fighting over the last piece of cheese. Your story can tell itself almost because you've planned it in advance. And if you're going a bit blind and you're trying to work out who their friend is and what does their friend want and who's working for the enemy and you're not sure because you've gone in blind and you're just trying to go ahead as you go, it's harder. It's harder to tell your story if you haven't got an idea in your head. And you can plot further than that. I tend to, for me, my personal writing style is working out who the characters are, and what they want, and who's trying to stop them getting it. And that little spider web network of their friends and the people around them and what they're trying to do, that is enough for me. If I have too much, I feel a bit trapped. I need to feel free to send them on the directions that suit them at the moment. So if I want to send them after cheese, I want to be free, for me personally, to send them whichever shop I feel like in the moment. Maybe to a farm, maybe to go find a cheese supplier directly. But I like to be free in my story, to get there as I get there. As long as I know who my characters are and what they want, I like that freedom. But you might want to have a bit more control than that. And you might start deciding, okay, so these are the places they're going to go, and this is how it's going to get disrupted. These are the things that are going to get in their way. This is what Bob has to overcome at each stage of my story. And then you're going in with a roadmap. You're writing your story and you're just telling what you've planned all the way through, and it'll be even easier. If that's what suits you, if that's what you like, it's like putting a jigsaw together. You plot every stage and then you can just fill it in. It's like paint them by numbers that you've controlled what numbers they are and what colours. It just means that you go into your story with a clear head on what story you're telling and why. And then you just get to control it through and follow the thread that you've planned, and ta-da, before you know it, you'll be at the end. But if you're going blind, you might get more stuck and you might wander off on a track you didn't want to go on and not be sure what you're doing and get a bit confused with who your characters are. Mix your Shirleys and Sheilas up, which is really easy to do. And this is why I have come to start planning my things in advance, because otherwise I do get lost, because I have too many ideas and I just go off track following one of them and my story gets messed up. But that's okay, just do it again. That's one of the joys of writing. There's no limit to how often you can do it until you get it right. But plotting, brainstorming, gives you a better shot at getting it right. I hope this has helped. It's a really fun activity as well. I love sitting down and mapping it all out and putting little lines connecting who these characters are and who they like and who they don't like and what each one wants. It's a fun little activity to get your brain going, and then it feels really exciting to start writing your story because you know these people now. You get to tell this story. They're not strangers, you know them. And that's a lot of fun. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's really helping me grow, helps me reach more people. If you can like the video, things like that. As I say, the more I get, the more responses and the more subscriptions I get, the more people I get to reach. And that means there's more people having a wonderful time telling stories and feeling confident with the stories they are telling. And that's a really wonderful experience. It's wonderful to be able to help people do that. You can come to my website, which is www.jjbarnes.co.uk. Over there I have a whole section dedicated to creative writing for kids. I've got activities and games, things that can help you start telling your story and feel more confident about doing it. And ideas, story prompts that might get you on the journey to doing it, and that's awesome. So yeah, come find me over there. There's also Pinterest where I'm posting loads. Also grown-ups. I know a lot of grown-ups watch these videos and are getting a lot of help from it, which is brilliant because the advice, it works for everybody. But if you want more and you're looking for more in-depth storytelling advice, my blog, which is blog.jjbarnes.co.uk, I'm doing in-depth long articles exploring different writing techniques, story structure, characterization, things like that with adult references that you might find helpful. They're just longer and more complicated than these and suited to grown-ups rather than kids. So if that sounds like something that might help you, come find it. The link is also on my website. All my social media is below. I have a Facebook page, which is Creative Writing for Kids with JJ Barnes. Come share what you're doing over there. Tell me what you've been getting up to. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you, and I will be back again soon. Thank you very much. Bye.